For today's breakfast, what we're going to do is we're going to go again with some bacon and eggs and toast. So what I'm going to do is preheat. So 180 degrees. Let's get that going. And what I'm going to do is just do that for 5 minutes. And then to make our breakfast, what we're going to do is we're going to actually use this pan, actually for muffins. But we tried the fried eggs and that didn't come out too great. Then we tried putting these into the fryer. That worked quite well, but I think with this we could do everything, and also it's much easier to clean. So we're going to let the preheat go, and then when it's just about ready we'll get the breakfast ready. Right, so we've got about 2 minutes left on there to go, so we're going to get everything ready. So what we need to do is just move that out the way. Let's put our muffin tray down. First thing I'm going to do is crack an egg into one of these little. Right, and that fits perfectly. And then we'll do another one. I'll do that one. Right, so the eggs fit actually, it's the perfect size, just a little bit of a gap at the top. And then what I'm going to do is take the bacon, and what we want to do is kind of just put it in there and try to sort of spread it out, if I can use that word. So there we go. We've got the bacon and another piece of bacon over here. Right, so there we've got the bacon all ready to go, and the next thing that we need to do then is put in the toast. So what I'm going to do is very carefully, I'm going to move some things around here. And then to get the toast to fit, we're just going to need to cut it in half. And you'll see why in a minute. Right, so with that in place, out comes the cooker. And in hindsight, maybe it would have been better to actually drop the eggs in place. No, that worked just fine. Right, so we have the eggs in, and now what I'm going to do is put the toast in. So we had to cut the bread in half because it would have been too high when we balance our toaster holder on top. So now the toast goes in. And we just do it every second slot so that the heat can get through. And there you have it, folks. So that's what it looks like. Nice and ready for our breakfast. Let's slide that in. And we're going to go with 180 degrees because the eggs can't be too hot, and we're going to do that for 5 minutes. So let's see what happens. See you in a bit. Right, the 5 minutes is up, so let's have a look and see what we got. And a bit of toast just hooking on there. Right. So the eggs need a bit more cooking, and the toast is almost done, and the bacon's coming along. So I think what we'll do is put that back in. And what I'm going to do now is just up the temperature. It looks like the eggs in that muffin tray don't get very hot. So what we're going to do is we're going to put that up to 200. We're going to go for 5 minutes. And let's get going and let's see what happens in the next 5 minutes. So about a minute has passed and I just want to check the toast. And also what I see happening here is that the silicon kind of disfigures, pushing everything up. So I think the toast is actually ready, and I'm going to take that out. And it's this lovely golden brown. And then I'm also going to take this out, and that you'll see that the eggs are actually it's not working in the silicon container at all. So what I thought was going to be a great idea is turning into a bit of a disaster. So we'll carry on without the toasting and let's see how it goes. Right, so we've finished on the cooking and let's see how we did. And right, it has cooked, so you'll see it is cooked. Yeah, that's looking good. So the nice thing now is because everything's contained, I should be able to just flip that out. Well, that's the theory. Let's see if that works. So yes, it does come out the container very easy. I'm just flipping that over. It's a little bit warm, as to be expected. So this is a little bit awkward. And the thinking that it would just pop out hasn't really worked. So the bacon, you can see, nice and crispy on the top and then nicely cooked at the bottom. And now we just need to get these eggs out. So I'm thinking maybe I can just, it's a little bit awkward actually. There we go. So, oh, there's the one egg. This is a complete interesting disaster. And there's the other egg. Now, what happens with this, as you can see with the silicon base, is it doesn't get very hot around the bottom. So everything remains cold and on the top it cooks. That's probably because the circular nature blocks the heat from going through and coming up underneath. So just a tip, otherwise the breakfast, the eggs are done on the top, a little bit soft, and the bacon actually looks nice with this very crispy top that actually very crispy on top and then nice and soft at the bottom. But the eggs, not so good in one of these containers. So, right, let's just then have a taste, yeah? So, always good to taste. It smells good, it smells delicious. And then what we can do is just, let's start organizing this food a bit better. And what I'm going to do is put the egg on. Like I said, the egg's a bit soft, but is it actually cooked at all? And then here is some bacon. So the bacon very crispy. Actually, bacon's very good. Let's have a look at this egg. So the egg is cooked. Actually, you know, that's not bad. I think I want to try that with a little bit of bacon as well. Wow. And that is delicious. Absolutely delicious. Well, that breakfast was absolutely delicious. And the nice thing is because we use that silicone container, there's very little to clean. Pan is actually almost spotless. Well, that wraps up a fantastic bacon and eggs breakfast using the pans. Didn't quite work out with cooking the eggs properly. Didn't warm up enough at the bottom because the round shape blocks the heat from falling down the side and heating up the bottom. So otherwise, not too bad. The bacon was excellent. The eggs that did cook, the parts that did, tasted great. Fantastic, delicious, and thank you for watching.